This is Jeb Blunt, and it's Money Monday on the Sales Gravy Podcast.
Say make money, money, make money, money, money. Make money, money, make money, money, money. Money makes the world go round. I'm the talk around town. Remy gave me the sound.
All right, it's Monday, the most important day of the week, because when you start your week strong, you end your week strong. And that's exactly what the Money Monday episode of the Sales Gravy Podcast is all about, helping you get energized, motivated, and focused to crush your week. And one of the most effective ways to stay strong is taking courses on Sales Gravy University, the world's most powerful sales training engine, featuring more than 1,500 hours of classes from over 40 of the world's top sales experts and authors, plus live workshops each week and mastermind group coaching sessions. There's nothing else like it in the sales world. Go check out Sales Gravy University at learn.salesgravy.com. That's learn.salesgravy.com. Last week, I delivered a keynote at a large company's President's Club event. It was fun, great hotel, tropical destination, and the people were upbeat and happy because they were celebrating success. And frankly, I love hanging out with ultra high performers because it's so energizing to be with winners. The challenge, though, was figuring out exactly what I was going to say to them. I mean, think about this. These sales professionals are the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the bee's knees, in the words of their VP of sales. They've proven that they know what to do. They're already motivated. And the last thing I wanted to do was to bore them to tears or to cause them to feel that I was talking down to them. So I spent several weeks nervously working on the perfect keynote speech for this group of winners. I went around and around in circles, unable to nail down the perfect message until it hit me that these sales professionals were in a very vulnerable position for the very fact that they were winners. You see, the sales graveyard is full of former President's Club winners who came home with a trophy and then were fired the next year because they quit selling. One-hit wonders who never got back to the club again, and those who came back with so much promise and potential only to drift along in mediocrity because they stopped doing the things that got them to the podium in the first place. Too often when we win, we see it as an opportunity to take our foot off the accelerator and coast for a while. It happens to President's Club winners and everyday sales reps. Have a good month, take a break from prospecting, close a big deal, start taking shortcuts, win the big trip, celebrate a little too long. Some winners become delusional after reading their own press clippings. After working hard and doing all the right things, they no longer believe that the rules of physics apply to them. Rather than going back home and honoring the basics and fundamentals of selling that brought them to the dance in the first place, they become undisciplined, delusional that they possess some sales superpower that guarantees their success. We've all been there in big and little ways. It happened to me just yesterday. While playing golf, I hit a screaming drive, one of my longest ever, right down the middle of the fairway to within 50 yards of the hole. On that drive, I'd done everything right. I slowed down, followed my routine, focused myself on the fundamentals, and executed. It was an incredible feeling. I celebrated with a big fist pump and high fives all around. I confidently walked up to my second shot, a short pitch into the green, tasting a birdie. And then I chunked it. Now, for those of you who play golf, you know exactly how this feels. It's awful. But what was the difference between the first shot, the winning drive, and the second shot, the loser chunk? It was me. Instead of running through my routine and being disciplined and intentional with my approach to that crucial second shot, I became lazy. Rather than focusing my mind on the basics and fundamentals, I believed that after that beautiful drive, the basics no longer applied to me. I walked away with a sad double bogey, proving once again that you cannot be delusional and successful at the same time. It's important to remember that you become what you think. When you tell yourself that you have a magic success wand, you start to believe it and act like it. You become delusional. Studies indicate that we talk to ourselves at a rate of up to 300 words a minute, and that little voice inside your head jabbers away 24/7. Self-talk, what you say to yourself internally, manifests itself in your outward attitude and actions. So pay attention to what you're saying to yourself. When your self-talk turns lazy, when it tells you that it's okay to rest, take your eye off the ball, take a shortcut, or skip the fundamentals, stop and change it. Replace lazy, undisciplined self-talk with the words of a disciplined winner, because if you want to keep winning, you cannot afford the luxury of a lazy thought. Warren Buffett once said that it is only when the tide goes out that we get to see who's been swimming naked. This is his way of saying that people who drift away from or believe that the basics and fundamentals no longer apply to them will eventually be exposed. It's fascinating how often humans will quit doing the very things that are working for them, especially President's Club winners. You were disciplined for a while, but as soon as you saw success, you abandoned what got you there. Look, it's natural to go looking for easy buttons because the basics are boring, but do not get drawn in by this siren song. Put your swimming suit on, because in sales, boring works. There's a saying that when you're in second place, you're competing with the person in front of you. But when you're in first place, you're competing with yourself. What you must never forget is that success in sales is rented, and that rent is due every day, every month, and every quarter. You don't have the luxury of resting on your laurels after a big win, because that person in second place, they're going to blow right past you while you're sitting on the side of the road, basking in your own glory. Before I wrap up with my final thoughts, I want to send a big thank you and shout out to Andrew Barbuto, who's the author of Top Sales Producer, for his awesome 5-star review on Apple. He says, as a seasoned salesperson, I find Jeb Blunt's Sales Gravy podcast to be a treasure trove of practical advice and insightful interviews. Jeb's expertise shines through in each episode, offering actionable tips that can be implemented immediately. This is a must-listen for serious sales professionals. Thank you, Andrew. Truly appreciate that review. And a huge thank you to Rachel Reef for this awesome 5-star review. She writes, I started listening to Sales Gravy a few years ago as one of my foundational podcasts to listen to weekly. After a few episodes, I realized quickly how impactful they are to incorporate into my everyday approach to leading and driving new business for our company. I fell in love with Sales Gravy's techniques, tips, and knowledge, so much so that when we decided to embark on growing my team, I reached out to them about how they could support us. Since January, we partnered with Sales Gravy and Keith Lubner, and it's been amazing. I'm excited to see where we go from here and our future ahead as we scale and grow our business bigger than ever before. Thank you so much, Rachel. We love working with you and your team. And to everyone who's leaving 5-star reviews and ratings for the podcast, I just want to let you know how grateful we are. Your reviews matter greatly because they're essential for moving Sales Gravy up in the podcast algorithms so that people can find us. The key lesson from this Money Monday message is that how you respond to winning is just as important as how you respond to losing. When you view winning as an opportunity to take your foot off the accelerator, you will go back to losing. But when you shift your mindset to view winning as a reason to get even better, you will become more disciplined and determined. You'll see winning as validation that you need to double down on the activities, disciplines, and behaviors that got you there in the first place. You will stay in front of the pack and produce even bigger results. In any endeavor, especially in sales, when the right actions are repeated consistently, winning becomes predictable. The key words here are consistent and repeated. This is the real secret to getting back on the podium next year, closing your next big deal, or sinking that elusive birdie putt. Always remember, when it's time to go home, when you're tired, when you're worn out, and your mind starts telling you that it's okay to quit, change your self-talk and will yourself to make one more call, because that's what winners do. I'll see you next time on the Sales Gravy Podcast.
Survival of the fittest, you can sink or swim. I've been broke, I ain't never going back again. I need some C notes, some cheddar, and a stack of ends. I need a bowl of dough, I don't need no Facebook friends. I need a pack of them snaps, a handful of Fetty Wops, and rubber band on my greenbacks. Look, dawg, don't be playing with my paper. I need every red cent, that's why I brought my little scraper.